We have a strong weather pattern coming for the next 7 to 10 days, everybody. Now, we do have severe weather, and it has grown. Now, remember what I told you yesterday, how this shortwave trough in Canada was intensifying the storm for the U.S., and it has shown true. It's bringing severe weather all the way down further south towards the Gulf and for Saturday as well. I think Saturday is going to be ramped up to a slight risk as well, and chances for tornadoes on both days. Now, that is just one of two storms. We have two storms coming through, and then we have another event happening right when we have this Arctic blast. This Arctic blast coming through, bringing freezing temperatures for the highs for a lot of people. Even the wind chill is going all the way down towards the Gulf for your highs, feeling like you're frozen as well. But this is going to build a big high pressure along the west coast. That's what it does. When this Arctic air comes in, it bends it all the way down, but at the same time, you have a big high pressure of warmer temperatures along the west coast. Now, when this happens, this is going to create a cutoff low in the Pacific that's going to come crashing into the west coast later on, bring another atmospheric river, bring another chance for severe weather as that storm system comes in. That one's going to be stronger than what you just had. So I'm going to go through the latest information, what you can expect from these two storms first, and show you what is right around the corner. Happy Thursday, everybody. Mark again here at Weatherman Plus. The severe weather has ramped up, so let's go through the latest information. Now, the next storm system along the west coast is going to be stronger than the one you just had. You had 7 landslides, a lot of rain, and some wind gusts as well. But along in the northeast, this is where you had a lot of wind and wind damage. So all this light blue right here, this is all wind damage. This is all trees down from the wind that came through, and it created a lot of power outages. And you can see it went into Maryland as well, and you get a lot of strong wind gusts that came through. So those winds were very strong for yesterday. And so far, we have 91,000 homes without power right now. You can see it's for Pennsylvania, also for New Jersey with 11,000 without power. Plus other states as well, 2 to 3, even 4 or 5,000. Now, before we get into these first two storms that are coming through, I want the West Coast to see this, because as we go into this weather pattern coming through, when that cold blast comes through, it's going to bend our jet stream, and that's what the cold air does. So you're going to have this big high ridge on the West Coast, you're going to have the cold air coming in towards the east, but over here in the Pacific, this is going to create a cutoff low. And this is going to sit there all next week, all the way until Wednesday and Thursday, as we go into the 12th and the 13th, when another storm system comes in. And this is going to bring a big atmospheric river. It's going to bring severe weather along the west coast when this happens. You even have an outlook for heavy rainfall coming through when this happens already. And this is days away. So please pay attention, because you have a strong storm coming your way as we go into next week. Right now, you have a risk for heavy precipitation from the 13th through the 19th of November. You have a slight risk in all this light green. This is including Arizona. But you have the moderate level risk over here in California. We'll also have the winds coming with it as well. Right now, this is a slight risk. This could easily pick up to a moderate level risk right along the west coast. Now, let's talk about these two storms coming through and the snowstorm. So as we go through all the way for tomorrow, we're still getting some strong storms over here for the Tennessee, Kentucky Valley, especially into West Virginia. This is where it starts meeting up with your Cape, with your lift. A lot of these storms are not around where you have your lift, the food for your thunderstorms to grow. So it's just going to be regular thunderstorms, nothing severe. But once again, this trough over here on the storm system in Canada is intensifying this storm system down here for the lower 48. So as you go through for Friday into Friday evening, as that moves towards the northeast, then for Saturday, look how that next storm system comes on through, and this is the one that's going to bring the snow. Look at this, all the way across the central, Midwest, Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes, out through the Northeast. And we still could see another day, maybe, of severe weather along the coast of the Northeast as we go through from Saturday into Sunday. I still believe that. Then that cold air is coming bombing on in all the way towards Monday and Tuesday for the deepest, and still showing it's going all the way towards Florida. Very deep, very cold. Why you get on a warmer anomaly over here across the southwest. Now, severe weather for tomorrow, for Friday, and there is that chance for tornadoes. Now you can see that 2% going all the way from the south, all the way towards Kentucky. So here's your cities and states at risk for a potential tornado as we go through for Friday. You see also the wind and the hail coming with it. That's what your slight risk is for, chances for hail. That's not going to be for the wind. It's not going to be for the tornado threat. So here's your cities and states at risk for the hail threat for Friday, for tomorrow. Also, our wind threat. Here's your cities and states at risk. And you see it's only a 5%. I'm not showing a lot of strong winds, everybody. So as we go through for this afternoon, you're going to get the storms coming across for Washington and Oregon. And that's going to come through all night long, bring a little bit of snow towards the higher elevations. Then as you go through for tonight into tomorrow morning, this is where you get a little bit of storms building. You get a little bit for the northwest, but this is where that little pocket of convection was that I showed you yesterday for northern Illinois, northern Indiana, some of Michigan, where you could get some thunderstorms rolling through overnight tonight for tomorrow morning. But then this is where it really is going to pivot. You get some chances for snow in Minnesota, Idaho, Wyoming, Washington, also for Montana. It's going to be a little isolated in nature. You might even get some storms brewing for southern Florida over here as we go through for tomorrow morning. Well, for tomorrow evening, as this band of storms moves across, this is not hitting convection just yet. This is regular thunderstorms. It's really going to be over here when it starts over here by Kentucky. A little bit of Kentucky, a little bit of Tennessee, chances for severe weather with that line of storms. And as it stretches into the evening into West Virginia and maybe even a little bit of southern Pennsylvania. You see how it's like a cluster over here for southern Pennsylvania? That's not severe weather. It's going to be over here for Tennessee, Kentucky, and a little bit of West Virginia. What's really going to be on my concern is these supercells potentially are still coming up from the Gulf, showing your tornado threat as it comes through for Friday evening for Mississippi, for Alabama. You see how it goes later in the evening, starts coming to a little bit more of a cluster as you go later in the evening. But that's where this other storm, our second storm, is coming through, bringing that snow as we go in for Friday into Saturday.